Greetings to everyone out there in YouTube land. I'm Ahmed Hassanin, and I just want to give a shout out to Coach Dan. Thank you for all the support you show the team and the players. Everyone hit the like, subscription button, and yell woo in the comments. Thank you, and go Lions.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Did you guys notice in that video there that, hold on, let me try this again. All right, let's try that again. I just notice at the end of the new intro, what do you see? You see Hutchinson's back. See what I did there? All right, well, anyways, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host, once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hey, it's Saturday. It's the day before the kickoff day, the big game over in Green Bay. Did you know the Lions once upon a time pulled off a massive upset in this rivalry between the Green Bay Packers and, obviously, the Detroit Lions back in 1962? Packers were undefeated, steamrolling everybody in the NFL, heading to the NFL championship game at that time. And guess what? The only team that beat them that year was the Detroit Lions. That's right. The Detroit Lions put up 11 sacks on Bart Starr that game. So there's your historical moment of the game. Getting to the present, though, we're going to break down in today's show a little bit about this game. We're going to go through some of the who has the advantage here, who has the advantage there, try to give you guys all the information. If you didn't know already, Micah Parsons is reportedly going to play, might be in a limited capacity. The weather is going to be great for the game. Shouldn't be any problem there. So Lions might be getting a bit of an advantage here going to Green Bay early in the season, the first game of the season, to remove any chances of the weather. We also know that later in the year, they're going to have to kind of offset that by going to Chicago during probably not the greatest weather. Whatever it is, though, we're going to break that all down, get into the 5 headlines now, and let's face it, we're all chomping the bit to see our Detroit Lions go on the field and return after the last time we saw them against the Washington Commanders. Didn't go the greatest. All right, before we get into the 5 headlines now, main topic of the day, everything in between. If you haven't done it by now, please consider subscribing to Lions Talk Live. We're making that march for 14,500 subs. We are 72 away from hitting that goal. So if you can help out with that, I surely would be thankful. Also, if you have a half second of time, it won't cost you a dang dime. Reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, that like button, hit all the buttons while you're at it. We try to get every episode of the show between 2, 3, 400 or more thumbs up or likes. Last but most certainly never least, you see it moving around at the bottom of your screen. If you're looking to buy or sell property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, let alone the continental United States, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text. I live in Michigan. I can help you out. I service the entire state, even the Upper Peninsula. So go ahead and give me a call. Let me have a chat with you about how I can use over 30 years of the industry, save you time, money, etc. Even yesterday, even though I was in the evening trying to take a little time off, hanging out with some friends, went to the casino, lost $12. I guess it wasn't too bad for a couple hours of work. But anyways, I had a conversation with one of you guys in the Duke crew. My advice was, after listening to the situation, the house you were trying to buy, I told him, hey, don't be a fool. Don't buy this house. It was not worth it. So hopefully you guys listened and saved yourself a whole lot of hassle with that one. All right, all that out of the way. Let's get this show rocking and rolling and going and kicking off with, as you probably know, 5 headlines now. Just got to find that button. The more things I try to make for the show, the more buttons there are, and it does seem like sometimes I got to scramble to find where they sometimes move around the screen. With that being said, we have 3 burning questions. What to expect from Aiden Hutchinson and Detroit Lions pass rush? This comes from our friends over at mlive.com and Mr. Raven Nevermore, Ben Raven. I think it's fair to say the Lions are banking a whole lot on Aiden Hutchinson returning to the form we saw last year, and to be fair, in the years before that. Aiden Hutchinson, all sorts of different reports have said the same stuff. He's looked like an absolute monster out there, destroying offensive linemen. Him and Penei Sewell have been going at it left, right. And the good part is that makes both of them better. Hutchinson's injury, while gruesome, if you remember it, whatever it was, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, it does seem like it's fully healed. He had multiple different doctors, including his own father, talk about and say it's not a problem at this point. Hutchinson's back. Hutchinson left the field on a pretty good start to his season. I think we could all say he had 7.5 sacks. Actually got the 7th sack on the injury. And 45 quarterback pressures, and that's just through the first 5 games. That was a monster start to a season. You know, who knows if it would have slowed down, if teams would have started having 3 people block him or whatever, but I think we all can probably agree he would have finished last year like 15, 18, who knows, maybe 20 sacks. He was having a historic pace last year. What's he going to do this year? Now that he's a man with a bit of a chip on his shoulder, apparently in the best physical shape of his life, it's a big burning question, and we'll get some answers for that tomorrow. When it comes to the Lions pass rush, everybody and their mother's been, kind of throwing out ideas what we're going to do. In fact, on super secret assignment, I sent my mom out yesterday trying to, hustle to get some stuff for us. What we can all agree is a lot of people wanted Za'Darius Smith back with the Detroit Lions. It's not going to happen now. Obviously, we don't need to go into that. It's, old news at this point. What we can say, though, is the Lions are putting a whole lot of faith, as you guys are aware, in Aleem McNeil's return, that he's going to be back up to speed. And Aleem McNeil, when he's fully healthy, he is one of the better pass rushing defensive tackles in the NFL. I'm not going to say he's the best. I just think he's probably somewhere in the top, 7 or so, somewhere around there. So he's one of the elite ones. Alquin Muhammad, a whole lot of faith has been put in this guy. I get he developed quite nicely last year. MCDC's a big fan of his. And I do think Tyrus Wheat, while we haven't talked about him a ton since he was signed, I do think they've got a lot of booming potential. Whether or not you'll see that potential tomorrow, later on the season, my guess is probably closer to later in the season once he's had the time to kind of digest what they want. We all know it. Pierce in the comments section talks about it quite often. Marcus Davenport, he's either going to be a grand slam home run for this team, or he's going to be a pop-up caught by the catcher, using some baseball analogy for us here today. Well, I don't know if there's really a middle ground for Davenport, and I know we all make fun of him because he's hurt all the time, but the Lions coaching staff, if we have the belief these guys have done everything right in resurrecting this franchise, then maybe we just need to take a moment and pause and say, hey, if they really believe that much in Davenport, maybe we should too as fans. We've also talked about could the Lions play more 3-4. I think it's going to happen. I think it will happen tomorrow. I do think Kelvin Shepard, whether it's 4-3, 3-4, he's going to be highly aggressive and unleash the fury on opposing quarterbacks. Part of that is this secondary is pretty legit. Now, how legit? We'll have to wait and see during the regular season how well they hold up. All right, next to the 5 glorious headlines now. Ex-long snapper Don Muhlbach handling Detroit Lions game management. Story by Dave Burkett, the Detroit Free Press. Hey, there was 2 decades Don Muhlbach handled the long snapping for the Detroit Lions and was one of the best we'll probably ever see in the franchise. Now that he's a part of the coaching staff after his retirement, they're handling him even more responsibilities. He's going to be part of the, I guess the way to word it would be reviewing committee of the coaching staff for any would-be challenge opportunities for Dan Campbell. He's got a lot of pressure on him every game, and that if a play's, review worthy, he has to make an immediate decision, talk to the people up in the booth. What do you guys think? Confirm it, and then give the nod to MCDC. So this is a big thing. It's not something to be taken lightly. As you guys know, you only get to challenge so many plays. And if it's a challenge-worthy play, there's really something probably as far as an impact on the game. I'm glad to see that they're giving him more and more duties, and I think they're going to expand his duties even more in-game, although that hasn't been fully revealed. It is a first sign that MCDC is starting to show where he's giving some of those duties off to other people so he can focus on more things in game. I think it's a smooth move for MCDC. It's hard for nobody. If you've never coached before, it's probably hard for you to understand all the decisions you have to make lickety split when they happen live. You can't wait too long because obviously if the next play happens, you can't review that prior play. I'm glad to see Don Muhlbach is emerging with the coaching staff and that MCDC now can focus more on other things during the game. All right, let's see. Next to the 5 headlines now. Detroit Lions add veteran offensive tackle to practice report. MLive.com. Pat Johnson with this one. Let's see if I don't mess up this. There we go. Hey, we got an injury report for you guys. Let me even take this off the screen. I'll try to make it a little bit better for you guys. Hold on, see if I can make it a little bit more readable here. All right, too many buttons. As you can see with the injury report, you got a whole bunch of stuff for the Green Bay Packers. Zane Anderson, he's got a knee, limited participation throughout the week. His game status is questionable. Let's see, Nate Hobbs, the cornerback, he did return to practice yesterday, still questionable. Either way, even if he's fully healthy, I think we can all agree with the Detroit Lions wide receiver core, he's one of their better corners. I'm going to say top 3 corners for them. The fact that he will be limited all week and now going up against, Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, etc., probably not a big thing for the Green Bay Packers. You probably don't want to rely on them too much. Elgin Jenkins, center/guard, hip, limited participation. Jordan Love, full participation, probably not questionable at all. Although, you know what? He hasn't had a whole lot of reps this preseason. I'd say make him pay for that. Micah Parsons, limited participation all week, questionable. It seems like the vast majority of people out there are going to say this about Parsons. He's going to play on obvious pass rush downs, not so much the rest of the time. So see what he does with it. Jalen Reed, their wide receiver's got a foot injury. Wednesday, no practice, limited participation the rest of the way. Barry Sorrell, defensive lineman, knee, limited. I mean, you guys can read all this. I probably don't need to go through everything. When it comes to the Detroit Lions, though, somebody that popped up late yesterday and added to the injury report is DeMarco Jones. Per this story, he is right now taking over the Dan Skipper role for the team. Dan Skipper last year, he was like the 6th offensive lineman. He would be the guy backing up Taylor Decker or Penei Sewell. The fact that he popped up yesterday, maybe we'll have to wait and see if the Lions go ahead and move Dan Skipper up for tomorrow. I don't think they will. It is an ankle injury. He was not listed at all with an ankle injury Wednesday, limited on Thursday, did not participate Friday. So the fact that he didn't go through anything Friday, we're going to want to pay attention to this because, if something happens to Taylor Decker or Penei Sewell, he is the person responsible to come in and take those spots. If not, you probably see a Giovanni Manu get a whole lot of run early. As far as the rest of the injuries, I don't think there's anything egregious here. Taylor Decker, he did not participate Friday. I think that was probably more just a rest day for him. Isaac Tesla, full participation yesterday, limited on Thursday, limited participation Wednesday. I don't think he's going to be a big problem there. Jamarco Jones' game status, though, they do have him as out, so that does bring up the question, who's going to fill in for him now that he's out? Dan, like I said, Dan Skipper, Giovanni Manu, Trevor Nowatzki out, Simon Baki out for tomorrow's game. Hey, I don't think those are big issues for the Lions, but we will see, I guess, in time. All right, trying to add more graphics to the show, as you guys could probably ascertain. All right, next to the 5 glorious headlines now. Why didn't Lions re-sign Za'Darius Smith? Detroit's blunder helps Eagles land veteran edge. Sport News, Mike Moratis. Don't really want to spend a ton of time on this one. I think we all agree there's a reason why the Lions didn't re-sign him. Could it be they just wanted to try to re-sign him after week 1 of the regular season? It's possible. When you look at the contract that Za'Darius Smith got from the Eagles, it's mostly incentive-laden. So if he doesn't perform, hitting certain numbers, metrics, he really doesn't get paid $9 million. Excuse me. I think it's, in my personal opinion, doesn't have to be your opinion, the Lions didn't re-sign him just because they simply don't feel like paying whatever the bottom line's ultimately going to be, $6 million, $7 million, $8 million to Za'Darius. It's probably just not worthy of him being the backup, left end, right end, or however they're going to use him. Could it be that they're going more to a 3-4? That is possible, which Za'Darius may not be the best for. Whatever it is, we're going to find out probably later in the season why he wasn't signed. I don't think it's anything personal against Za'Darius Smith. I think at the end of the day, Lions said he just doesn't really fit in what we're going to do. At least that's my hope, at least. All right, last of the 5 headlines now. New Lions, Detroit Lions safety excited to join, quote, top 5 secondary M Live, story by Corey Woods. And I think we all agree the Lions have added a whole lot of stuff to this team. This team, this roster, 53 man. I mean, the fact that you're talking about Jamarco Jones, who's out for tomorrow, not going to be able to play, but really, is that going to impact us? Dan Skipper or Giovanni Manu? Maybe both of them will be up for this the team tomorrow. What we do know is with Thomas Harper being added to the team, Lions have one of the deepest secondaries in the NFL, and I know we've talked about this a lot in recent weeks. where's your weakness in the Lions secondary? Is there a weakness in Lions secondary? Harper, he's played around the league. He's 24 years old. Kid's crazy athletic, and he plays special teams. I get why the Lions wanted to add him. He's had some moments of where he shows some real shine, other moments where maybe he didn't stand out as well with other spots where he's played at with the Chargers, etc. When he was with Oklahoma State and Notre Dame, I think a lot of people said this guy's a playmaker. The fact that he's coming in, getting an opportunity to play here, as a rookie in Las Vegas, Harper started 5 of the 15 games he played in, finished with 26 tackles, 2 pass defense, a fumble recovery, and an interception. He also logged 265 snaps on special teams. So again, what do you do when you bring in somebody who's got some depth, some potential? You grow them, you develop them, and you make your special teams better. I think he's a real win for this team. Is he ever going to supplant Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch? Probably not, but it's nice to know if you got somebody with some versatility who can play both safety spots and be a gunner, help out on special teams. I just don't know where the weaknesses are in this Detroit Lions team, and adding somebody like him to it, just makes this the deepness of this team even stronger. All right, all that done, said all the way. Let's get this show on over to the main top of the day, break down tomorrow's game, and let's face it, we're all chomping the bit to see the team back out there. All right, so as we break it down, I know some of you guys get into this stuff. I don't, and if nothing else, I get to throw a new graphic at you guys. I am trying to add more stuff like this to make the show a little bit more visually impactful, I guess. All right, so for those who do betting, you know more about this than I'll ever will. Detroit Lions are, obviously you can see on the screen, 2.5-point favorites. I'm guessing that all means money line. I don't know jack about, but this is for your guys' information, those who do pay attention to this stuff. And then the totals, the over and under. Again, I don't know how to describe that, so I'll just say, hey, if you are better, now you know, and knowing is half the battle. All right, so from that, let's break on down tomorrow's game. Hold on, I got to sneeze. Hey, well, maybe. All right, let's just try to break on the game. Let's go through this. Jalen Reed and Nate Hobbs injury update, kind of already went over to you with that. I did go to some Packer sites, try to get you some information from them. Coach Matt LaFleur said both sat out padded practice because they had been rehabbing every day, and a day off was part of the plan for them. Quote, we didn't want to go too much into conservative days in a row. So I'm not really sure what he's meaning with that. I mean, they've been working around the clock pretty much to return. I think both guys will add something to the team, but we don't want to overwork them. Hobbs underwent surgery August 2nd to repair a torn meniscus in his right knee. Reed had been out with a foot injury since August 7th. So both guys a little injured. We did talk about the Lions injuries just real quickly. The Lions just say when it comes to Isaac Tesla, there's no reason why he can't perform tomorrow. I tend to agree with that. Running back Sion Vaki and linebacker Trevor Ornowski did not go. So we'll pay attention to those. But I think for tomorrow's game, we pretty much know who's going to be out there and who's not going to be out there. So let's move on from that. Going on from that, let's break down the matchups, see what you guys have to think. We're going to get to the guys on the field. I did go over to SI.com, try to get their thoughts. I was a little surprised by this. SI.com had multiple different reporters taking the Green Bay Packers. I know the Packers have kind of become fan favorites since the trade. I'll go through my breakdown of tomorrow's game. You guys have your own opinions. I don't think the Packers are going to win, but you know what? Hey, just for those who want to know, SI.com has them winning 24-20. With that going, let's go through the tail of the tape. I'm going to just break it on down, my notes on it all. Let's start with the Lions offense versus the Packers defense. Hey, we get it. There's all sorts of questions about the Lions offensive line. Until they actually go out there and take actual NFL in-game snaps, we don't know what we're getting with Graham Glasgow as the center. Or Christian Mahogany. We saw some stuff last year. I think he's going to be pretty good, but you know what? He's got to do it again this year. With Ratledge, you see all sorts of promise with him. He is going to be a rookie. He's going to be tested. Let's make no bones about it. The Packers would have to be complete idiots not to try to game plan to go after those three guys and see how they adjust. Early, often, I've got to imagine you're seeing people shoot from the A gap to the B gap, trying to test them out, see how they negotiate things. I personally believe because of Frank Haley and the amount of time the Lions have had to prepare these guys, the Lions are probably going to be fine there. Because of that, I'm thinking the edge for the Lions offense versus the Packers defense is towards the Lions. The weather is also going to be a big factor for both teams. I think you're going to be able to pass the ball around. It's going to be sunny, middle of the day. It's not going to be rainy or snowy or muddy field or anything like that. The other part is I think the loss of Kenny Clark is a massive, massive loss for the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, they got Parsons. Yes, Parsons is a generational pass rusher, but he's also more than likely going to be limited in playing. You took out a fully healthy Kenny Clark. I did go back, try to watch at least some of his game with the Dallas Cowboys. I thought he played pretty well. And, so why you got rid of him to add somebody with a back issue, I don't know. Somebody could explain that to me. I also want to go through when we're talking about the Lions offense. Hey, Jared Goff, he's basically a coach on the field. I don't think you're going to be able to catch him off guard with too much at this point in his career. You look at the weapons he's got. I don't know if there's a quarterback who's been blessed more with weapons than Jared Goff at this point. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Sam I am Laporta, Tesla, whoever else you want to throw out there. Lions have so many weapons. I don't think any defense in the NFL can shut them all down. And we haven't even mentioned the running game yet of, Craig Reynolds, Gibbs, Montgomery. These guys are going to make an impact too. How much two running back sets we get tomorrow, I think we're going to get quite a bit. Why? If you want to help that offensive line protect in its first game, put a couple people right behind Jared Goff. When he drops back, 2-3, step drops, maybe 5-step drops, he's going to have now, in essence, 7 people blocking for him. Doesn't mean those guys can't chip block the running backs and then leak out, which puts a lot of pressure on those backers or whoever's going to guard them. I think this is a massive advantage for the Lions, and part of the reason why I'm assuming Dan O'Damas picked them to win yesterday. All right, let's move on to that from the Packers offense, from the Lions defense. We already talked about it during the 5 headlines. Now, Aiden Hutchinson, we're assuming he's going to return to form. We don't know he's going to return to form. Hey, here's a question for you. How good is newcomer DJ Reed going to be? And at cornerback, a position of strength, I personally think, for the Lions. But let's also be fair to the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay's got an offense. They've got some wide receivers. They've got a quarterback who has not had a ton of reps during the preseason because of his surgery. Yes, it's not his throwing hand, but it does take some time to get back onto things. Normally speaking, early in the game, I know some of you guys will probably all agree with this, the defense has an advantage over the offense. Offense is typically timing, getting in repetitions with people, but if you've had some limitations there, it's going to affect that. Jordan Love did throw 4,100 yards, played lights out the second half of 2025. Last year, though, in 24, I thought he took a bit of a step back. Who do you get at quarterback there? I think that's really going to be the fate of the Packers. If he goes back to 23 second half, Jordan Love, they're probably challenging us for the NFC North all season long. If he goes to the guy we saw last year, I'm not so sure. I think they could finish third. All that being said, I'm going to right now trying to be as objective as I can be. I think it's a push. I think the Lions defense is just as good as the Packers offense. I don't see an advantage one way or the other than if maybe Marcus Davenport or Derek Barnes or whoever else is going to be used on pass rushing downs really is that strong as the Lions coaching staff must believe in at getting the quarterback, then I'd probably give a slight advantage to the Detroit Lions. And the reason for that is I think you've got a ton of veterans here. Yes, the coordinator is different, but the players haven't really changed. And that secondary, in my opinion, is dang legit. I think they're physical. I think Terrion Arnold, from all reports and from what you've watched, has really grown and matured. I think he might be able to travel around with the other team's number one. I don't know if he's going to be the number one cornerback for us, but I think he's become that good. We got to see it actually in games to confirm it. But if he's become that guy, the Lions don't have a ton of size in the cornerback room. If he can be that guy, he can travel around the field and shut down your number one corner. You got 2 all-world safeties backing him up, and then the rest of the cornerback group is pretty strong. I think the Lions defense is going to be unleashed this year, and I think they're going to get after him. All right, probably went on that topic a little bit much. Let's talk about the quarterbacks. We already talked about them to a certain degree, but when trying to analyze both guys, it's no disrespect to Jordan Love. I just think Jared Goff's the better quarterback. In my opinion, Jared Goff is a top 5 NFL quarterback. If you want to say he's top 3, that's fine. If you want to say he's top 7, that's fine. He's a dang good quarterback, whatever metric you want to say out there. Is he going to outrun Jordan Love? Is he going to outrun anybody out there? No, he's not. But you know what? He's not going to be asked to do that. He has apparently in the last 2 seasons worked a ton on being more mobile. So good for him. Maybe in the right situation, he'd scramble and get 2, 3, 4, 5 yards. Hey, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But when talking about his ability to read, help shift the line around, we all know Frank Ragnow isn't here anymore. The good thing is Graham Glasgow is a veteran. He's been around the NFL a long time. The other aspect of that offensive line is Jared Goff can go and help matriculate, alter that offensive line if need be if he identifies things. Doesn't mean he can't be wrong, but really after a decade in the NFL, there's not a whole lot he hasn't seen. In the last few years, we all know Brian Flores, the Minnesota Vikings, they blitz more than anybody. Jared Goff, the knock used to be on him. You get pressure on him. You know what? He folds. I don't think he really does anymore. He's one of the better quarterbacks against the blitz. I also don't like the narrative when I hear, to me, it's lazy reporting. When I watch, when I'm driving around and listen to some people say, well, if you can get pressure up the middle on Jared Goff, he will fold. What NFL quarterback does well with pressure up the middle? I don't know of the guy that does it. In my opinion, I think Jared Goff, if you want to put on a scale from 1 to 10, I'll say he's like an 8 to a 9 as a quarterback. Jordan Love, until he can be more consistent, I'm going to say is like a 6 or a 7. So I do think there's an advantage here. I do think Goff, ultimately, at the end of the day, is one of the reasons we're going to get to the Super Bowl. All right, so advantage Lions on that one. Special teams, the Packers have a pretty good group. I try to watch as much as I could while doing stuff yesterday. Try to pay attention to things. Jack Fox is one of the best punters out there. I also do think, though, that the Packers, they have a veteran kicker in Brandon McManus, excuse me. He just missed one field goal in 21 attempts last year. He's pretty dang good. Jake Bates, we all agree he's end up being pretty good. I just don't know if there's a real advantage one way or the other here. So for right now, not a cop-out. I just think it's even. I don't know if the special teams will ultimately make a big impact on the game as far as game deciding. That being said, maybe somebody will win on a kick, and that will be Detroit, by the way. Coaching staff, Matt LaFleur has had a phenomenal start to his career, but the last couple years, at least in the NFC North, haven't been kind to him. Matt LaFleur's numbers without the last 3 years, he was holding a 5-1 record against, the lot of people in the NFC North. Then the last few years happened. That has kind of changed. In fact, last year in the NFC North wasn't great for the Green Bay Packers. I understand everybody in the nation, everybody talks about the Lions, all says the same stuff. Hey, they got new coordinators, they can't win. I just don't believe in that. Again, I think we've talked about it since the preseason, since maybe even before the draft. Whenever they announced the Hall of Fame game from going to Detroit, you want to know how Roger Goodell, in my opinion, doesn't hate Detroit Lions anymore? He gave them that game because that gave us an extra 2 weeks to prepare, an extra 2 weeks for those new coordinators come in, work on their systems. You've had a month and a half to get ready for this game. If your terminology, your adjustments, your calls, your tendencies aren't known to the players by now, I don't know what it's going to take for them to get known. Will they get better over time? Absolutely. But I think both these guys, they're going to be fine. I think it's an overblown story. So for that part alone, I think the advantage, in my view, is the coaching goes to the Detroit Lions. I think they have the edge there. Was Dan O'Damas pointing out yesterday, I think the Lions are going to win. My opinion is they're going to win by about 13 to 14 points, somewhere in that range. Maybe it'll end up being 4,000 points. I'd be okay with that. But I do like the Green Bay Packers. I do think they're going to be the second best team in the NFC North. I just don't think they're going to, beat the Detroit Lions tomorrow in a nearly perfect weather situation at Lambeau. We'll have to wait and see, though. All right, guys, I rambled on for a while about all those. Am I right, wrong, or indifferent on all of these? Let me know your thoughts, and let's get to the Duke Crew comments section. Let me scroll to the top of the screen, and I'm trying to get there. Yeah, and hopefully you guys like that historical reference to 1962, the Detroit Lions upsetting the unstoppable force that was the Green Bay Packers and sacking Bart Starr 11 times. So, hey, let's keep this rivalry going. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Breaking down Green Bay, question mark. I like the sound of that, exclamation point. Woo! And back at you, JDC. Morning, all. Good to see you. Carrie, morning, everyone. It's always a good morning to see you, Carrie. Hookadoo, and a fine good morning, Duke Crew. Grit will be the king on Sunday, and we will win, exclamation point. I'm down with that, and I like the way you're thinking, Hooks. Johnny L., good morning, folks. Same to you. Hookadoo, Johnny L., and the crew of Grit has begun to assemble. Oh, yeah, man. Sounds like the crew of Justice League or Justice League Grit crew. I don't know, man. Where to go with that. JDC, Lambeau Field, home of the lamers. They are lame. Bo, in heavy and ridiculous accent, I must break you. There you go. Good Rocky 4 throwback. Trey, what's good, everybody? Question mark. Sounds like Parsons will play tomorrow, but limited. When he's on the field, we need to go at him. I agree. When he's out there, unless it's something like 3rd and 18, I think you need to be physical with him over and over to just, try to limit him. I say 3rd and 18 or whatever, go at him, but let's also face it, MCDC is one of the coaches that actually does call runs in that situation. Susan, so why do we not resign Z? Question mark. Still trying to understand that. I think, I can only give you my thoughts. I don't think it's a dollar amount as much. Maybe I'm wrong. I just think it's more they didn't view him as a fit here in regards to what we're going to see from the D. We all are assuming, it's still going to be the same defensive systems that we saw with Aaron Glenn. I'm just not so sure that's the case. And because of that, they don't feel like he's going to beat out Marcus Davenport. And you know what? Why pay $9 million for a backup, I guess. All right, so it's long. One more sleep until kickoff, exclamation point. Woo! And I concur. Let's see, Quentin. Reading citation to Dooku. Let beat those boys down tomorrow and get after Love. No chance. Green Bay, no chance. I like the way you were thinking, Johnny L. Rocky, 5. Bo Booth. Was it 5 or 4? I think it was 4. Maybe I'm wrong. 5 figures ready. In Brad, I trust. Let's all move on from Z. There is a reason the team didn't bring him back. Probably is a bit of a reason there. Drago, yeah, Ivan Drago indeed, says Bo. Johnny L, I woke up this morning and I swear I thought it was Sunday. Well, maybe you got one more sleep in you before the game. Steve Rogers, I wish it was. Johnny L, yes, me too, man. I think we're all ready for game day. Xavier, good morning, Coach Dan and the Dooku. Hope you have a blessed day, exclamation point. What a great team the Lions are. I think so. I know they will prevail this year, one game at a time, exclamation point. Go Lions. Woo! I know I was listening at the gym yesterday. Oh, Mike Valetti, 97.1 of the ticket. I get him and Rico talked about some stuff. Man, if the Lions lose tomorrow, it's the end of the world. I don't think it is. I don't think they're going to lose either. But that being said, I think the North, the NFC as a whole, is going to be pretty complete this year. Whoever wins the NFC gets the number 1 seed. I think it'll be like a 12 to 13 win team. I don't think you're going to have 15 wins again this season. As far as the North, maybe a 10-11 win season gets you the NFC North because I think it's going to be that loaded, that stacked, and that complete. Johnny, yes, sir. Back at you. Hookadoo. Seems like we have the same dream, Johnny L. Hey, we got to like to share dreams. Jedi Sith, don't worry about the playoffs who aren't here. Don't worry on the players who aren't here. Let's focus on the ones that are. It's indeed. Worry about the guys here, not the ones not. Bo, Jedi, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Till the Hunt, Susan, probably too much to pay for a defensive end number 3 who might not fit the defensive scheme the Lions plan to run the season. Yeah, I agree with you 1,000% there, Attila. Johnny L, I'm trying to get my grit going this morning. Feels like I'm sleepwalking. Yeah, sometimes it happens, man. I know I overslept by about 10 minutes or so today. Tori, good morning to all my Grit Do crew, brothers and sisters, and back at you. Bo, thank you. That's okay, Johnny L. I'm sleeping. There you all right, way to do it. Johnny L, we are going to be great with what we've got. I like the way you're thinking there. Believe in the players here, not the ones that not. There has to be a reason why they didn't want to bring him back, didn't re-sign him. So you know what? I'm going to believe that they know what they're doing. At least I sure hope so. We can do have a cup of coffee, Johnny L, with 2 lumps of grit. Oh, yeah. Maybe throw some Mountain Dew in there. Jess, greetings, salutations, Dooku. I think tomorrow will be like the whole season for us. It comes down to 2 things. Can we protect our quarterback? And can we get to theirs? Man, it's crazy how simple football can be sometimes. I agree with you a lot, though, there. Xavier, I know this team has grit and determination. Tomorrow, we will find out. Exclamation point. Lions 34, Packers 14. Let's be brutal to them. Let's put up the 44 and hold them to 4 points. How about that? We'll be kind and give them 4 points in the second half. Johnny L, got it right here. Hookadoo. There you go. Scott Hutch, I'm back. He is back. Yes, he is. He'll be a Terminator out there, I'm hoping. Not that I want to see him kill Jordan Love, but hey, if he wants to knock him out of the game, go for it. Let's see, Henry Moore. Good morning, Coach Dan and the Dooku. What a team. What a podcast. Exclamation point. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! And good to see you, Henry. Bo, we protect Goff by giving the ball to Sonic and Knuckles. Ooh, that's a good thought right there. Lauren, good morning, Duke crew. Woo! Lauren, how you doing? Hey, any update on the Panthers? I guess I haven't paid attention that much. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section if we got an update. Michael, it's a 1 game at a time season for them, not PI. I'll go with that. See, Drake Parsons will play, not worried about a back injury. Can we stop him from getting to Goff is my question. Question mark. At Scott, let's see. Can't wait to see that bad boy Hutch go. No, I think we're all waiting to see what do we have with Hutch. Is he going to be what we saw last year prior to the injury? Only way to find out is to open up the games tomorrow. Amy, let's see. Good morning, Dan, the ultra fabulous new crew. Exclamation point. Green Bay must have some Swiss in them because the Lions will find the Swiss cheese holes for sure. I'm down with that with an exclamation point. Lauren, Got Goff in my fantasy. I think he'll ball out against the Green Bay Packers secondary. Yeah, the Packers secondary, to your point, Lauren, they do have some injuries. They got some question marks. They did let go of Alexander. We all know that stuff. Now, all the promise we've heard about Jameson Williams, the John Morton deep shot offense, will that hold up? I don't know, but we're going to find out in around 4:30 tomorrow. Okay, you're just gonna feel that grit go, just growing and growing. I'm down with that, Johnny L. Sorry I murdered that hookadoo. Gary, I want praise when I'm right, but I admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong about Z. I'm biting my tongue as hard as I can with Brad and Dan. Hope my tongue doesn't fall in my mouth. I'm that upset. Who knows why it didn't happen? Maybe we'll get a report in a couple months or after the season. Hey, it came down to this, that, the other thing. I don't know. The only thing I can say, Kerry, is I'm assuming it's a result of he doesn't fit the systems we're going to run this year. Johnny L., you are correct, Sir Bo Boots. Jennifer, good morning. Oh, Z withdrawals. Hey, it happens. Let's see, Lauren, I had a feeling Z wanted to come back, but Dan was right about it when he said sign with the team. He would sign with the team, indeed. Till then, 1, win the turnover battle. 2, protect golf. 3, special teams play. 4, stay healthy. It is the same every season. Yeah, it is good season. My coaching 101 for me, something that's never failed me in all the decades I've coached. Score more points than the other team, you're going to win the vast majority of the time. Robert, greetings and salutations, one and all. Exclamation point. Lions will rule the North. Good luck, Packers. You will need it. Let's not give them any luck. Good morning, Robert. Lauren, 3-4 defense loading. It probably is. Michael, it's going to be one game at a time season for the Detroit Lions team, carrying a big freaking hammer at the end of it. Hey, let's go unleash the hammer. Go Thor on people. Johnny L., who remembers Jerry Ball, also called the governor? I do remember him. A phenomenal player. Good dude, too. Loved interviewing him. Robert, woo! And back at you. Trina and Christina Conway, good morning, everyone, on this blessed Saturday. I want everyone to have a safe and blessed day. Thank you for all the updates and everything about the Lions. Can you get a shout-out to Trina Conway? Woo! You don't want a shout-out? There you just got a shout-out, and I'll throw you 1, 2, 3. How about a 1, 2, and 3 right now? And there you go. Good morning to you guys. Hookadoo, I swear Denport better not get hurt tomorrow. Let's hope he doesn't, man. Manbear, good morning. And back at you. Bo, Lions have been a 4-3 team for so long, it's going to be a shock to see them do anything else. Green Bay won't know what's happening to tomorrow. One thing I'll say is, with Shep, like most coaches in the preseason, you don't show a lot of stuff, at least at the NFL level. You try to keep things kind of close to the chest, keep them secret wrapped until the regular season. We'll see what they shock him with tomorrow. Maybe they'll shock him just by playing 4-3. Maybe they'll go 3-4. I don't know. It's one thing I'd never mess with as a coach. I don't care if you know what we're going to do. We're going to come out there. Can he stop it? If you can't, that's your problem, not ours. Preseason games, scrimmages, everything. I'd throw the full playbook out there. If you got that much time where you can break it all down and really in 2 or 3 practices or 4 practices get ready for us, you know what? We're doing something wrong. Johnny, William Gary, yeah, there you go. Mary, good morning, Duke Crew, and my gritty Duke Crew brothers and sisters. Time to shine and put up the metal to the pedal. Let's put it to the metal, and hey, let's just steamroll the Green Bay Packers. Gary, Jerry Ball, one bad dude. He was, man. He was indeed. Michael, don't start with the jinking hookadoo. There, I concur. The Trim Reaper, good morning, Coach Dan and the mighty Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Woo! And same to you. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Let's pray Denport and some of the other ends make us forget about Smith. Going to miss him. Seemed like a good dude. Just, didn't work out. Trina and Christina, Detroit Lions just need to play as a team, and the coaches work together for this season to go to the Super Bowl, and I hope you pray everybody to stay safe and without any injuries. Yes, let's keep them very healthy this year. Clark, yo, I made a morning show, exclamation point. Well, congrats. Always good to see you in the chat. Feels like it's been a minute or two since I've seen you. Dennis, good morning. Dan and the Duke Crew, and same to you. Lauren, I would hate to see Denport get hurt again, but trends are trends until you break the trends. Let's hope he starts breaking those trends. Big Eddie, good morning. Coach, who do you think will be the impact guys tomorrow? I'm going to say our offensive line and defensive line. Because let's face it, in football, you win those 2 areas, you've got a better than average chance to be successful. So give the thoughts and praise to the offensive line. Keep them healthy, keep them upright, keep opening holes, keep protecting the quarterback, then go get the other team's quarterback. Boom. My last word on Zaboom, at least we don't have to listen to Mr. and Mrs. Smith anymore. No, we'll probably move on from that unless they want to throw shade at us. Hey, see them in the NFC title game, right? Johnny L, Thunder and Lightning all day tomorrow in Wisconsin. Let's hope so. We unleash that on them. Until then, trends are made to be broken. I like the way you're thinking. Until then, Eddie, who won't? Oh, we'll find out. King SJ, greetings, sanitation coach and Duke crew. Exclamation point, go Lions. Good to see you this morning, my friend. Lauren, will Cash Dow rep Eagles stuff for her man or still rep her city? Ooh, that's a good question. I guess she's going to be switching to Eagles attire. Let's see, Jennifer, who else picked Detroit defense in fantasy football? Question mark, ride and died Lions. I like it indeed. Detroit D, it's time to silence the doubters, exclamation points. I couldn't agree with you more. There's a whole lot of people in the national media, you guys know, that talk about we can't win because this reason, that reason. I don't believe it, man. I think we're going to be just fine. Good to see you, my friend, in the morning. Until then, Cash Dow can go away now. We'll see what shakes. So, Chris Steele, what up, Duke crew? What's up, man of Steel? How you doing with that exclamation point? How is the back? We'll find out, says Attila. Johnny L, heavy dose of Sonic and Knuckles. I think you're going to get that. Detroit D, 27-20. Lions win. Very kind of you to allow them to stick around in the game. Lauren Van Esch, Kurt Steele, what up, Bill? Lions Talk Line fan, 42-24. I'll take that. Hookadoo, good morning. Mary Smith, the mother of grit. I didn't see you sneak in. Well, now you have. Troy D, what up, Bill? Kurt Steele, Lauren Van Esch, good morning. Coach Rock, good morning. All in my grip morning, Hookadoo and Johnny L. And to all the Duke members, and back at you, Detroit D, good morning, Duke crew. And always good to see you, my friend. You're live in the chat today. Michael, confusion says don't put your eggs in one basket. Brad said hold my damn port. Oh, Lord have mercy. We'll see what shakes. Let's see, Kurt Steele, Detroit D, good morning. Coach Rock, good morning, Kurt. How are you feeling? Johnny L, how are you feeling today? Kurt Steele, Chiefs looked vulnerable last night. Yes, they did. Yes, they did indeed. Mary Smith, okay, gotta watch like, gotta watch. I'm like a lion. We sneak up on you. Good morning. You are pretty stealthy like that, like a ninja. Detroit D, I'm so jacked for this game. The return of Hutch, 100%, man. I want to see what this defense can do. I want to see what the offense can do. I want to see this team really live up to the hype and expectations. I think we're all on the same page with Detroit D. Jennifer, Brad, and Dan don't appreciate unexpected press. Cashed out and Z took oxygen out of the room. Maybe. Mary Smith, Professor Steele, good morning. How you doing? We'll find out. Chris Steele, better guys, thanks for asking. LL and Coach Jones are hailing our pregame show. It will be up later today. We'll all check it out on the Boss Up Ball Out Network. Hookadoo. Lions are going to bring plenty of grit and cheese shredded tomorrow. Oh, yeah, let's shred up that cheese. Chuck, good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke crew. Looking forward to a great game day. Go Lions. Back at you. Good to see you, Chuck, as always. Lions Talk Live fan. Go Marcus Davenport. I'm down with that. Coach Rock, a great morning to you, Stephanie and Mary. Good morning to everybody in the chat. Johnny L, grilled cheese with hot sauce. Now you're talking my kind of language. Carrie, I believe tomorrow we're going to get to the Detroit Lions, destroy the fudge cheddar defensive line. Let's hope we just shred them up, their defensive line. Market time, no pass rush. Let's hope we have a phenomenal pass rush. Lions Soccer Live fan, laughing out loud, no pass rush. Yeah, maybe the Packers won't have much of a pass rush. You might be right with that. Mary Smith, sad Z isn't going to be a Lion, but my opinion is Cash Dow should have kept her comments to herself, not really blaming her, but I wonder if it was pushing him for more money. Yeah, I don't know if we'll hopefully, but we'll probably know in time. Johnny L, barbecue bear meat week 2. Let's do that. Hey, let's get the Packers done first. Same old soup just reheated. New Detroit Lions Nike shoe just released. Just ordered mine. I did see something about that on social media, so it looks pretty slick. Let me know how it goes. Damian Pearson, time to feed the Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Let's go feed them. Let's see. Mary Smith, Johnny L, laid off the hot sauce. Good morning. Man, can you ever lay off the hot sauce, man? So when I went to the casino with some of the neighbors yesterday, I'm not really much of a gambler. Like I said, I lost like, $12, $13 or whatever, but did have a delicious hamburger there. And man, I smothered the hot sauce all over that thing. Gary, got the Micah Crunch. There you go. Johnny L, really same old soup. How much? We'll find out. Jennifer, Mary Smith, absolutely hookadoo. Johnny L, got my bear permit, and week 2 is bear season. Bear down. We'll take the Bears down. Vernon, good morning, Coach and Duke crew. Exclamation point. Coach, I don't know why Parsons would embarrass himself by talking about us when he also embarrassed himself at Penn State by dancing like a guy. It was funny. We'll find out, man. I mean, he's his own man for sure. Same old soup, 155 before text, their fifth year, okay, blue 5th tier, all right. Johnny L, you good? You were going hunting, hookadoo? I think we're all are for week 2 with the Bears. Gary, bear meat and tequila sunrises. Okay. Damian, Sewell will have Micah Parsons with cheese. Yeah. And, Parsons does typically line up over the right tackle. I don't know. I do suspect the Green Bay Packers are going to move around, like I was saying earlier. I think they'd be very foolish not to attack the middle of the Lions' offensive line to test it. So I'm guessing they probably will. How much will Parsons be a role in that? We're going to find out. Johnny L, Yogi, and Boo Boo run better. Okay, Johnny L is laughing. Kurt Steele, skipper hasn't practiced all week. There you go. Mary Smith, we just need to shut Parsons down. He's running his mouth like he got the runs. Maybe he does. Let's see, Leonard. Greetings, salutations, Coach Duker. Have a great day. Let's go, Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Good to see you, Leonard. Johnny L, MP will do nothing. Probably accurate. Kurt Steele, practice squad players aren't listed on injury reports. Correct. Yes, they keep them off the practice reports, the injury reports. The Rebel, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Back at you, Johnny O. This is fun. You gotta love fun, my friend. Central Scrutinize. Good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Woo! It's time to get great. Let's go, Lions. One pride. 100%, my friend. Hookadoo, Mary, the man wants to talk stuff, and he needs the freaking shot to play. Parsons lacks grit. Exclamation point. Yeah, I don't know the full extent with his back. I think we all know there's something going on with it. Let's see, the Rebel disappointed by Brad Holmes. It happens. Todd, morning crew, back at you. Johnny L, in Brad I trust. We're all having to trust him, right? JDC, getting real to D. Go Lions! Exclamation point. The Rebel, thrift shop Brad strikes again. Dollar General Brad, I think is the term a lot of people like to use. But hey, thrift store works. Michael Lyons, secondary, going to be like watching flies attacking stuff this season. It might be true. Dre Day, thrift shop Brad. It may be. Mary Smith, Hookadoo, agreed. Too much talking about our boys. Hope he doesn't be left behind on the field for lunch meat. Hey, we might turn him into meat. Todd played in Chicago last season, week 16, and was just fine. Yeah, I think we're going to be fine. Let's get through tomorrow, though, and then we'll worry about the Chicago Bears later in the year. Johnny L, as far as I know, Brad is the best GM that we have ever had. Probably in a long time, at least. At least the last 20, 30 years. We, man, leaving for Green Bay this morning. Exclamation point, go Lions. Go have a good time, man. Go enjoy the game. Section 108. Hey, you got some good seats there. Damian, there is no solid reason to doubt Brad Holmes yet. Agreed. The Lions go out and win the Super Bowl this year. Are we going to really complain that we didn't sign Za'Darius? Who knows? We, man, Lions win 34-28. I like the way you're thinking. Mary Smith, be safe and take grit with you. We, man, I concur. Coach Rock, we are going to the players and that's good enough for me, and Davenport will make us forget Smith. Let's hope you are right. Let's hope we're all right on that. Johnny, who remembers Bill Munson? I do. We, man, Mary Smith talking the grit and Uber power. I concur. We're going to that meat Parsons has wouldn't feed a mouse, Mary. Okay. Johnny, JDC, Jerry Ford's rocks, and he rolls. Todd, new O-line is better than Green Bay's new defensive tackle. Ooh, that could be the hot take right there. Johnny, happy Saturday, Duke Crew. Same to you. Rebel, but I have to say, when the Lions starters take the field completely healthy, defense will be stout and formidable. I think you are right. Todd, defensive tackle of Packers are new starters. There you go. Coach Rock, I have trading cards of Bill Munson, blast from the past. It is a throwback. Mary Smith, laughing at Hookadoo, always get a laugh out of me. Carry those bombs, Johnny L. Damian, Lions 38, Packers 14, exclamation point. Hutch and Davenport will be feed on the oh man, I can't talk right now. We will be fed on the offense and look unstoppable. I hope you're right, man. I'm sorry, Damian, that I just murdered that comment. Johnny L, I love the Lions so much. I think we all love the Lions a whole lot. Dre D, I'm proud to be Brad Holmes. He should be called Minor Brad. Always freaking hiding gems. Go Lions. We'll see how many gems he's uncovered. Gary, how about the Thunderfoot? The Rebel, Jared Goff will be elite. Exclamation point. I hope we are all right on that. Don, BM back up to Greg Landry. There you go. Bill Munson, yeah. Mary Smith, Johnny L, 100%. Southwest, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. Woo! Go Lions. Good to see you this morning, my friend. Johnny L, we all know what we're talking about. Let's hope we do. JDC, Detroit Lions rebuilding since 1957. Stay tuned to Coach Dan and Lions Talk Live for more updates. Go Lions with an exclamation point. Johnny L, grit and breakfast tomorrow morning. Let's have a good breakfast before the game and a good lunch. What do? Same Johnny L, since I was just a wee little gritster. Let's see. Egon, I don't think we're lying about the Hutch rule in camp. That speaks volumes as far as returning to form. Yeah, I think he's going to have every bit of energy to want to go out there and prove himself. Let's see, Motown Mitch, Green Bay offense is mid at best. Wide receiver, bunch of slot guys. Running game is past its prime. Lions just a better team all the way around. I hope you're right on all the above, Motown Mitch. Gary, just remember, now preseason games are going to affect play. We'll see how they do. Dre Day, how our preseason games affect week one? We'll see. Let's see, Johnny L. I remember playing the Tiger Stadium as a kid with my dad and grandpa. Okay. Yeah, back in the day, yeah, Tiger Stadium. Rock, Johnny L., do you remember Toby wrote? We'll find out. Phil, good morning. Good morning, Phil. Any more? Let's hit that thumbs up button for Coach and his podcast. Thank you for that. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit all the buttons. Thank you for that, Henry. Vern, Coach, did we sign Carson Wentz? I don't think we did. I think Minnesota did. Johnny L. Rock, honestly, I didn't. Great day, Vernon. He should still be on the Vikings roster. I believe he is, although I haven't paid attention. Rock, laughing out loud, says Kerry. Johnny L. Alden Taylor. Johnny L. Dexter Bussey. There you go. That's a bit of a name from the past. Rodney. All right. Says Kerry. Let's see. Vern, thanks you, Dre Day. Coach Rock replaced Bobby Lane when he broke his leg, which led to the end of the Bobby Lane era in Detroit. Yeah, amongst a few other things. That's why Bobby Lane got shown the door. Damien, I really want to see how John Morton uses the speed of Gibbs and Jameson Williams against the Packers defense. Yeah, I think we're all chomping the bit to see what he comes up with. You know, he's got a whole lot of weapons to play with, as you're pointing out, Damien. I think it's going to be a lot of fun seeing what Johnny Morton brings to the table. Johnny L. Dang, we're old. It happens. Dan Koss, this game won't be close. Lions 38-14. I like the way you're thinking. Dominic, good morning from Texas. Good morning to you. I know it's a little bit earlier there than here. RJ, what do you got? Same. Coach Rock, laughing out loud, was saying the same thing. Good thing the Lions grit keeps us young. There you go. We're going to do 34-24. Lions roaring into the win column. Lions Talk Live fam 42-24. Dre Day. With all the headlines J-Mo has been getting this offseason, I expect him to be double covered the majority of the time. So it's great decoy for St. Brown and Laporta. Yeah, to your point, and I think we've talked about this a whole lot. At some point, you can only double so many people. You're going to send at least 4 people, I'm thinking, after Goff, probably closer to 5. If it's 5, you leave 6 in the back half of the defense to cover. Man, you better get home in a hurry because that 6 is going to struggle to cover 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and at least 1 running back, or maybe it's 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and 2 running backs. You guys get it, man. Mary, 42-10. I love the way you're thinking. Gary, Dan cost my call. It happens. Let's see. The Rebel, I'm loving the new graphics coach. I'm trying to add some more stuff to the show. Trying to work on it. RJ, what do you got? How about 40-0? Lions dominate. I would take that big time. Damon, yes, Dan, exclamation point. 1962 crushing of the Packers was always my favorite story as a kid. Hey, man, it's a bit of a throwback. I'd rather talk about that than Brett Favre going opposite side of the field in the Silverdome. Let's leave that one alone. Rocky M. and good old Milt Pillman. There you go, laughing out loud. Hassani Manley, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Good morning to all Lions fans. Talk live. Thumbs up. Go Lions Super Bowl. Hey, that's where we're going. Thank you for your son for making that promo for the show, by the way. All right, Kerry. RJ Cops, we all hope. I'm hoping. Coach Rock, Grit Morning, Hassani Madley, Johnny L. Do you know that the Fords bought the Lions on the day of the JFK assassination? I knew it was right around there, and I think if I remember right, it can't, obviously for obvious reasons, they got pushed into the back pages. Yeah, a dark day for all the United States. Bo, good morning, Medley. Exclamation point. Paperback fan, greetings, salutations, Drew Crew, Lions 42-13. I'll take that. Coach, my little brother's wife and mama are from Wisconsin. They love them. The Green Bay just told them we'll beat them by 10 points. Verno, I think you're right. I think we'll take that. Dominic, I predict 24-3, number 1 seed. Let's make that happen. Gary, Coach Rock, one of my favorites. Dre Day, 31-13 Lions win. That'll be a good one. Michael, the 251 watches, 90 likes, exclamation point. Like and subscribe. Help out the show. Grip morning. And back to everybody. Thank you for that. Big D 42-17. Hookadoo, top of the morning, Mr. Hassanin. I can't wait until we get a med back. Yeah, we're one week closer, right? Coach Johnny K. Hey, Coach and Duke Crew. I say Lions 27, Green Bay 17. It's a win, so we accept it. Michael, Lions 34, Packers 24. Damien, what do you got? Greatest load of talent in training camp that I've ever seen. Now it's time to see how that translates on the field with an exclamation point. I think you're right. We can talk about all the talent in the world, but you got to produce, and that's how you know it is talent. Dre, the Chiefs have now shown putting starters in the preseason does not equal to more ready for the regular season. Yeah, and every time you want to find stuff to corroborate one thing or the other, you're going to be able to find it. All we can say is none of our starters got hurt or banged up in preseason games, so that we can confirm. Tomorrow's the first game of 17. If we lose, the sky won't be falling! Exclamation point. But the Lions will win 42-13. Oh yeah, I'll take that. JD, what up though? Lions are going to win it all this season because we have the most to lose. I'll go with that with an exclamation point. Coach Rock, had to get the garage out this morning due to the holiday, and of course it's the garbage out this morning due to the holiday, and of course it started to pour, and it reminded me of last night's game. Just can't stay dry lately, so need the Lions victory tomorrow. Woo! We'll take it. We'll get the Lions victory. The Rebel KC went down last night. Damian, Dre Day, I still don't understand why the Chiefs close to do that. Yeah, I chose to do that as far as play the starters. Yeah. Hey, just their personal preference. KC looked terrible last night. Game 1 for sure, 100%. Exclamation point. Lauren, nothing to say per the Panthers. The new guys in the ownership, Mike Rapole, really wants to go to Alumni Field in 27. We'll see what they do then. Keep us updated if you would, sir. Dre Day, they looked really bad. Let's see, the Rebel, Johnny Gas, one more day, Duke Crew, exclamation point. Back at you. Good to see you in the show. Rock, good, CZ in about 11 Sundays from now. That is accurate. That is very accurate. Johnny V, for 24-10, Lions victory, exclamation point. Dominic, I don't have us losing a divisional game. Let's keep it that way. Let's not lose any. That would help our chances. Dre Day, Michael Parsons, no idea, but it doesn't look like it helped. The wide receiver that got injured looks like how Amik went out during the playoff game. Yep, might be accurate. The Rebel, come on, Duke Crew, smash all the buttons. Thank you for that. Motor City Manic, go Lions. Mary Smith got to cut out early, Duke Crew. My grandson's having a game today. See you all in the morning. Have a blessed and safe day. Hey, go enjoy that game with your grandson, man. That's good times right there. Josh, go Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Coach Rock, I'll have whatever Johnny L is drinking this morning. A dose of coffee, I'm thinking. Johnny Gas, how many sacks for Hutch tomorrow? I'm going to go with 2, and then Derek Barnes with 3. How about that, guys, man? Check him. All the speculation is over. It's time to play the game. You are right with that, my friend. Good to see you this morning. Gary, see y'all later. Queen Mary, we'll see you then. Johnny L. So far, it seems like Kansas City's Chiefs are not what they used to be. Hey, time is not kind to any team, especially when you're that successful that long. It's hard to maintain. Courtesy of Boss Up, Ball Out is going live at 8 following Lions Talk Live. We'll see you over there. Dre Day, we'll see Z in 11, in week 11, and he knows he can't handle Panay or Decker. Yeah, he'll have something to prove. I don't know if he'll be able to prove it, though. All I can do is see you, Mary, and may the grit be with you and your grandson. Agreed. Damian, Dre Day, the Chiefs wouldn't have learned from the Lions about regular season injuries. They may be facing a bad season. Yeah, it could be 100%. Coach Rock, Boss Up, Ball Out, live, hoping to see that Ghost Cat. Woo, we'll take it that. The Lions have an edge, new offense, new defense. No team knows what the Lions will do. This is true. The Lions are playing with house money, and they're playing the cards close to the chest, so you're going to have to wait and see what they do in the games to really know what they're going to do. Vernon, I played against Jerry Ball in high school. He played for Herbert High and then renamed it to Westbrook High in Beaumont, Texas. There you go. Hey, something we did not know. Johnny, what happened to the game last night? Now you know. Dre Day, the receivers looked out of sync with Mahomes most of the game at Johnny. Phil, it's chilly with hot sauce season. I like the way you're thinking. Derek, from what I see of Philly and KC, the only thing keeping them in the game is their quarterback runs. Okay. Okay, KC lost. Johnny L, they played with no grit. Hey, you got to have grit, right? Johnny L, Dre Day, who won? Dre Day, Chargers won for the second time out of 9 games. All right. Johnny L, they played the Bills. They played Chargers. Correct. Dre Day, the Bills have been more understandable, but the Chargers is a rough loss. Hey, Hardball, give him his credit, man. He has teams prepared, especially early in the season. Johnny L, wow, I'm losing it. It happens. Phil, do they make hot and spicy Mountain Dew? Ooh, maybe I should put in that request for that. Hogadoo, Johnny L, it was Casey and the Chargers in Brazil. Yes, it was. The kid, the 302 kid. Good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. What's the word on Pascal? Nobody's said anything official. We're all speculating. It's just speculation that he's dealing with some injuries or situations that he had back in college, if you get the gist. Johnny L, thank you, guys. Anytime. Phil, did Brad hurt his credibility? Only way to find out, see how the Lions do this year. Johnny L, skip the Packers. Let's skip all of them. Uncle Buzz, Chiefs gonna poach Meeks off the practice squad? Maybe they should. But hey, good to see you, man. It feels like it's been a hot second since we've seen you. JD, one day Lions fans are going to appreciate Brad Holmes' cheapness. Maybe accurate. Johnny L. Johnny B. Baby Poe Green and P. Yell. Maybe true. Maybe true. Jeff Fuss. When is the last time we fielded a healthy regular season game? Hopefully it's tomorrow, right? JDC, Johnny V, more like, oh, yeah, green and, yellow. We'll go with that. Phil, who remembers Bill Muncie? Question mark. The boat driver. The boat driver. Okay. Coach Rock, Brad will get a Super Bowl and we get considered for Lions best GM. Yes, he wins the Super Bowl. He will get that for sure. Great. Buzz, Meeks and Martin on the same practice squad. The Chiefs would be interesting. It would be indeed. Johnny L, JDC, you're funny. Johnny L, Pierce out until tomorrow. Go Lions. We'll see you tomorrow. The T-Bone Lokes, Dexter Buxley was my first Lions poster. Dexter Buxley, yeah, good Lions player. Coach Rock, 262 watching, all 102 likes. Show some Lions grit and push the like button. All the buttons, push all the buttons. Thank you for that. JDC, Johnny L, because this is fun. Yeah, this is always fun to push buttons. Johnny L, oh yeah, I'll take that. Phil, Brazilian fans picked up a ton of free NFL merch last night. Good for them. Hey, the NFL representing. We're going to see you, Johnny L. Have a grit-filled day. Enjoy that day. JDC, happy trails, go Lions victory. Bo Booth, happy trails, new crew, all done and dusted for another game day. See you by then. We'll see you in the morning, my friend. JDC, sit high in the saddle, fellow Lions Talk Livers. See you in the morning, my friend. Chris Steele, see you guys in 5 over the Boss Up Ball Out channel. Let's get you out and over there. Happy trails, new crew, one pride worldwide, says Hookadoo. Johnny V, Steve Owens, Heisman running back, early 70s for our beloved Detroit Lions. Correct with that. Gary, happy trails, new crew. Enjoy your Saturday. Stay safe. Go Tigers, go Wolverines, go Lions. Woo! And back to you, Dan Koss. Hutch 4 sacks. I'll take that. Detroit D, Dan, maybe Brad is waiting to see what we have before he makes any moves. Could be 100%. Hawkinson is still 1-year deal. If Bengals stink and need some help, it was very possible to grab him and pay him. Maybe, for sure, for the rest of the season. Yeah, we'll see what they do. All right, Duke Crew, we'll get you on out of here, get you on over to the Boss Up Ball Out channel. If you would be so kind before checking out, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. If there is breaking news today, I'll get it over to you as soon as possible. Take care, do something kind for somebody you don't know, and we'll see you guys on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.